Hi everyone. Okay, today we'll be going through test 10A on percentage. Okay, so take out your worksheet. Okay, let's go through the questions. Now, I do want you to take note. All right, please help me to do the necessary. Can you please mark your answers? All right, so if you get it right, you put a tick. If it's wrong, please do your correction. Okay, all right, let's start. Okay, question 1. What percentage of the figure is shaded? Now, as you can see that the figure is not as in drawn to be the same. Okay, so in order to show or to make sure that everything is, it's the same, so you just cut the figure to be all the same like that. Okay, so just cut the figure. Then you can actually count the number of shaded because they want what percentage of the figure is shaded. So the shaded will be 2. All right, so altogether the total number of parts will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 8 units or 8 parts, up to you. That is 100%. Okay, so 8 units, 100%, you find for 1 unit. Okay, so 100 divided by 8, all right, and then you find for 2 units. Okay, so here will be, all right, okay, 12.5, and then your 2 units will be 12.5 times 2, and that's 25%. So your answer is number 2. Is everybody okay there? All right, can you slowly recall what we have done for percentage? Okay, always remember whatever the total of anything that they give you. Okay, so if it's be it fraction, all right, be it maybe a sum of money or whatever, if it's a total in the beginning, it's 100%. All right, so you find for 1%, and then you move on to the number of whatever that they want you to find. Okay, so in this case it's the shaded part. Okay, all right, let's move on to the next question. Question 2. Now express 4.5% as a decimal. Now 4.5%, so percent refers to, always remember, it's always 100. Okay, it doesn't change. Your percentage will always be 100. So if you have, now when they want a decimal, so it's already 4.5. all right, so if it's in decimal that they are looking at, so it's just, your answer will be just 4.5 because it's again over 100. Okay, so your answer is number 4. Okay, right. If you want to do it as okay, if you want to do it as working, right, 4.5% means 4.5. Anything 4.5% or whatever is 100, right? So what you do is you move that 1, 2, so it's 450. Now they want in decimal, so anything that is decimal, you have to divide it by 100. Okay, so from here, so it's 4.5 still. That's why I didn't want to show you the working, because as you can see, it's 4.5%. So anything that you want to find percent, you have to times 100. So 4.5 times 100, you get percent. All right, so that is 450. And then they want you to change it to decimal. So anything that you change to decimal, you got to divide it by either 10, 100 or 1000. But in this case, because it's 450, you can't take 10, all right? So you divide it by 100. So the answer is 4.5. Okay, that's number 4. All right, let's move on to question 3. Express 30 out of 20 as a percentage. Okay, there's a few ways of doing this, all right? You can straight away change it to 100 if you want to. All right, so this is the fraction, right? So you just take 13 out of 20, multiply, because anything that is percentage, you got to multiply by 100%. Okay, sorry, the first one also you must have that percent. 4.5 times 100%. Okay, so in this case it's 13 out of 20 times 100%. Then I just cancel the 0. So here will be a 5 there. So it's 65%. Your answer for number 3 is is 4. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, so always remember, the minute they ask you to change or express something to percent, just times 100%. Okay, be it decimal, be it fraction. All right, so even whole number, you just remember you have to times 100% to get the answer. Okay, all right, question 4. Chef 1 had 300 eggs, so that is the total number of eggs. Now, if it's total number of eggs, which means that's 100%. So your 300 eggs is 100%. So here will be 100%, 300 eggs. Now, he used 30% of them to make sponge cake. All right, so here will be 30% used. Okay, so that's 30%. You can already find, if you want to, your 1%, or you can find, okay, so 30% used, so that's 300 divided by 100, okay, times 30, so you cancel that, so that's 90, okay, but that is of 30%. Now they want left. Left means not the 30%, but it's 100%, take away 30%, and that's 70%. All right, so now they want the 70%. So your 70% is actually, you can just take your total, take away your 90. So your answer is 210. So that's number 4. Okay, there's another way of doing this. Okay, you can straight away just take 70%. So instead of doing this, right, so what you can do is, you already know your 100%. So 100% is 300. So straight away, you find for your 70% there. So it's 300 divided by 100 and then times 70. So you cancel this and your answer will be 210 as well. So you can either do this method, that is you find what is used and then you take away the total minus the one that you used, and that is 210. Or you straight away minus your 100 minus 30, right? So that's 70%. So straight away find your 70%. So either method is accepted. So I leave it to you, which is more comfortable for you. Okay? All right. So total up your score. If all is correct, then it should be 8 points. Okay? All right. Let's move on to section B of your paper. Express 35% as a fraction in its simplest form. Okay, so here you know that when they write in as 35% means this percent is 100, so it's 35 out of 100. Now they want it in simplest form, so divided by 5 divided by 5, your answer is 7 out of 20. Okay, so that's your answer in fraction. Okay, all right, let's move on. Express 0.09 as a percentage. Now again, percentage is 100%. So all you need to do is to take, like before, for the first page, right, is they give you a fraction. They give you a fraction and they ask you to express as a percentage. Okay, let's go back to this, right? Can you see this one? 13 out of 20 as a percentage. So always remember, percentage means 100%. So straight away take your fraction times 100%. So in this case, they are asking in decimal, all right, 0.09. as a percentage, again times 100%. So like I said, whether they give a fraction or a percentage or even a whole number, all right, when they want you to express as a percentage, times 100%. Okay, so now you know there's 2 zeros, so all you need to do is to move 2 spaces, and your final answer is just 9.0 or just 9. Okay, so here your answer is 9%. Okay, all right, next, what is 47% of 200 kilogram? So in this case, again, okay, we have to take note of percent here. Okay, so this percent, you can just take 47 out of your 100, multiply, okay, of means times, okay, so 47% means 47 out of 100, multiply by 200, okay, so you cancel that, so 47 times 2, you will get 94, okay. So far so good, everybody. All right, so take note again, the minute you see 35%, percent means 35 out of 100. Same thing. All right, here 47% means 47 out of 100. And when they ask you to express something as a percentage, straight away times 100%. Okay. All right, that's just to, you know, recall what we have done before. Okay. All right, question 8. Mr. Koh had 8,000 in his bank account. So here, right, he has this much in his bank account. The bank paid 3% interest at the end of the year. So at the end of the year, he get that 3% interest. Okay, this is something that the bank gives, all right, for you to save your money in the bank. Now, he did not withdraw. Withdraw means to take out. He did not take out any of his savings. So he put the money there, all right, for the whole year. So he didn't take out anything. Now the question states that how much interest did he receive at the end of the year? Okay, so here your 8,000, how many percent do you think 8,000 is? Yes, very good. So that's 100% because that is his total saving, right? So it's 100% is 8,000. Okay, so now if you find for 1%, then it will be your 8,000 divided by 100. So cancel that. So that's 80. So for 1% is 80. Now for 3%, then it will be 80 times 3, and that's 240. All right. So they only want the interest, and this is 3% interest. So you have already found, okay, so the answer is just 240. Okay, so you can imagine if you save 8,000 in the bank will give you that $240 just for saving or keeping your money in the bank. Okay, so that's what interest means. The bank gives you the money. All right, so that's for section B. Let's move on to section C. Okay, right. 35% of the visitors to an exhibition were adults. So take note, 35% adults. Okay. And the rest were children. So if you were to take note, 100% minus 35%, so your children is 65%. Okay. So how many children were there if 4,800 people, now people means both adults and children, okay? So now, straight away we know your 4,800 people means both children and adults, so that's 100%. You cannot take, you know, it as 35 because 35% is adult. 65% you found was the children. So if they say people means both adult and children, so that's your 100%. Is everybody okay? Then you find for 1%. Divided by 100. Cancel. So that will give you a 48. Okay. Now they ask you to find how many children were there. Alright. So your answer will be 65%, because that's the children that you found. Okay. So you take 48 times 65. Okay, and your answer is, okay, do you get 3,120? All right, okay, so that's your answer. How many children were there? There were 3,120 children. And that's your answer there. Okay, all right, so that's question 9. Is everybody okay? All right, let's move on to question 10. Okay, 40% of the flowers, all right, here, everything. It includes all the flowers. That's the roses, the orchids, all right? So when they talk about flowers, it includes all. So that's 40% of the flowers are roses. Okay, so here, 40% roses. 15% of the flowers are carnation, and the remaining flowers are orchids. So here you want to know what is the remaining, and that remaining is orchids, right? Okay, and that should be 100%. Take away your 40%, and that's 60%. Then 60%, take away 15%, and that will give you 45%. So you know now orchids is 45%. Is everybody okay? All right, now they say if there are 120 stalks of flowers altogether. So flowers means of 100, 45%. Okay, if there are 120 stalks of flowers altogether, how many stalks of orchids are there? So here you take your 45, or you can take your 100% first as 120. Find for 1%, and that's 120 divided by 100. Okay, so that's so that will be 1.2. Okay, now you find how many stalks are there, how many stalks are orchids. So that's 45%. So 1.2 times 45. So your answer is 54. Okay, so how many stalks of orchids are there? There are 54 orchids. Okay, all right. Is everybody okay? So far so good? All right, that's question 10. All right, let's move on to question 11. Okay. All right, there are 420 buttons in a box. So that's your total number of buttons. Okay, so that's 450 buttons. 62% of the buttons are blue. So 62% blue and 28% yellow. How many fewer yellow buttons than blue buttons are there? So straight away, you just find out how many fewer. You take your blue minus your yellow. So straight away, that will give you your 34%. Okay, so how many fewer? 34% fewer. Okay, now 450 buttons, that means it's the total number of blue and yellow buttons, so which means that's 100%. Okay, everybody, find for 1%. divided by 100. So take that away. So that will give you 4.5. Now they ask you for fuel. So all you need to do is to take your 34%. Alright, so it's 4.5 multiplied by 34. Okay, and your answer is 153 fuel. Okay, so how many fuel? 100, there are 153 fuel buttons. Sorry, yellow buttons. Yellow buttons. Then blue buttons. Okay, 153. Okay, let's move on. Question 12. Okay. Alright, question 12 states that the usual price of a sofa was $960. So at 100%, because it's usual price means 100%. Alright, the price is 960. Tom bought the sofa at a discount. Okay, when it's discount, that means it's at a cheaper price of 25%. So that 25% means 100% minus your 25%. That will give you 75%. So Tom actually paid 75% only because the shop offered 25% discount. Okay, so 100% is 960, the usual price without discount. So find for your 1%. So 960 divided by 100 again is 9.6. And then how much did Tom pay? So at a discount where he managed to get it at cheaper price, 9.6 times your 75%. Okay, so your answer will be 720. So it's a lot cheaper. Without the discount is 960. With the discount is 720. Okay, so how much did Tom pay? So Tom paid $720. Okay. Right. Next, question 13. A washing machine costs $1,250 before GST. Now remember, GST is government service tax. Okay, so this is tax paid, which means that is an increase. Okay, so it's a plus. Like for your discount, the other time we did, discount means it's a minus, all right, of that. That means your okay, the amount should go down, but in this case, because it's tax, so your amount or your answer should be increasing. Okay, so it's higher. So at 100%, because before tax, all right, so it's 100%, it's 1,250. Okay, so now there was a 7% GST, so it's 7% tax on the washing machine. So find for your 1% divided by 100. So that should be 12.5. Now there is a GST of 7%. So here will be, now when it's a GST, right? So it's an increase. So which means 100% plus your 7. And that will be 107%. Okay, so you have to find 107%. So that's 12.5 times 107. Okay, so your answer will be 1,337.50 like that. Okay, so what was the cost of washing machine with GST? The price is 1,337.50. So that is the price with GST. All right, how do you check? So this is the original price With the government tax, service tax, all right, it becomes this, which is higher. So this answer most likely is correct because GST means increase. All right, if it's a discount, it's a decrease. Okay, so that's your answer for GST. All right, so we have come to the end of the paper. All right, so we managed to finish all the question. All right, so please do your necessary correction if you have any. I'll be seeing you for the next part of the test, or that will be percentage 10B. Okay, all right, I see you again. Goodbye, everyone.